What's your name and where you calling from?
Zaiyahs House, uptown.
Palmetto on a palmetto.
Zaiyahs House, uptown.
Stop it, that's not hot.
Zaiyahs House, uptown.
Oh, you think the world is round, but it's flat.
Zaiyahs House, uptown.
Listen, before you get the horns.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Zaiyahs House. I'm your host, Zai007, and this handsome young man here is
Uptown.
Thank you all for joining us for this glorious occasion. It's been a beautiful, well, see, I don't even want to name the season because it might date it. I don't want to date it, so I mean,
It's been a beautiful year.
yeah, so far it's been a beautiful year. If you come here to hear anything about Trump, forget about it. We don't talk about Trump here.
Trump who?
Exactly. So how you doing, young man?
I'm doing good. How's everything been going? How's the family, everybody?
Family is doing okay. Everybody's all right, man. Everybody's all right. Got to get a new roof on the house, but
Oh, okay.
Tell
Got some
me.
work to do.
tell my business. Maybe we should put a GoFund. No, I'm just playing. I'll pay for my own roof. Man. So, where we going to now, young man?
Well, before we get into anything, speaking of GoFundMe, that's kind of interesting. How do you feel about GoFundMe accounts?
I had told somebody about a GoFundMe. They didn't know anything about GoFundMe.
Okay, in what sense?
They never heard of it. So I was like, hey, man, they got this GoFundMe thing, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, wow. I'm going to put a GoFundMe because I want to move out my mother's house.
Okay.
And he put it up. And I'm like, this guy, I know personally the guy smokes a bunch of weed. So I know that if anybody gives him a dime, it's going to go towards weed. He's not moving out his mother's house, you know.
Okay.
And he got the GoFundMe. He put it up. I think he made a couple of dollars. And he's still in his mother's house. So the GoFundMe thing, I guess it depends on the situation. If somebody like this guy who just saved a woman from getting killed, the woman ran into the store, said somebody's trying to kill her. She was slashed up. The guy came with a machete.
Okay.
And this guy ran over and protected the woman, but he got cut up in the process. So they did a GoFundMe for him. I could understand that.
Right, for the surgeries and stuff like that.
Yeah, the only thing I really don't like with the homeless man who walked and got the woman the gas in the storm, and her and her husband did a GoFundMe for the homeless guy, and then they ended up keeping the money, you know. So
Yeah, so I guess you actually have mixed feelings about it.
if you genuinely have a situation that's at no fault of your own, because you were trying to do something heroic, or you know, a child that got a disease and the family can't afford it, or something like that, but if you were selling weed and you got busted and you trying to get out, it's just like, you should have saved some of your money, you know. But that's just me.
Me personally, I believe use a GoFundMe for anything. Anything you want. Listen, GoFundMe, they put that system is in place, right? For anything you want. It doesn't say it has to be one thing or the other. So use the system. My thing is that it's there. If you need a new pair of sneakers, tennis shoes, get it. If you need a new roof on the house, get it. I don't care if you want to go on vacation or a wedding or whatever, get it. If somebody donates, that's on them. No limits. Pookie's in jail, with me. I'm for it.
Okay.
I'm for it. I love GoFundMe. I mean, I've never started one, you know, things like that.
This makes me want to ask the question, have you ever given any money to GoFundMe?
I have.
For what?
I gave GoFundMe for a friend of a couple people have passed away, got killed or whatever you want to say, and they like friends, you know, friends of associates I know, whatever, put up a GoFundMe because their cousin died or got murdered, things like that. Put a couple dollars in there for it.
Okay.
I also put some dollars for what else I did? I did a GoFundMe for a young lady going to graduation, going to college, and they put up a GoFundMe thing. So I put a couple dollars in that. Somebody I know. So yeah, I have put money for GoFundMe.
Okay, cool.
You know, no big deal. I mean, I'm not saying I put hundreds of dollars, $1,000. I'm not saying that. But I put a couple of dollars in it.
Well, I just went to Burlington Coat Factory, and I did a GoFundMe for my grandkids. Some stranger, buy your own sneakers, you bum. I wish I would go for. No, you would have to do something like, you know, lose a leg saving a baby or something like that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I put a little $20. I mean, that's nothing like I said, nothing big. $20. I put $20. It's $10.
Going to college, that's on you.
Zaiyahs not happening, yo, but I don't mind.
Go
I give you a little
for it.
$10, $20, man. Whatever.
Nothing
man.
for me.
If I know you, it's whatever. If it
I
helps.
got a son. I got grandkids. I don't have any
Disposable income?
disposable income.
I hear you. I hear you. So
For
I'm going to
foolishness.
go for me. So think about it. But on that note, let's take a quick break. Back in a hot second.
Hell yeah. I felt very much in myself playing my instrument, you know. Like I always felt like, yeah, you know, kind of hide behind the bass. Be it playing in a jazz band or, you know, when I started playing in Suicidal, it was kind of like Mike Muir would have to tell me, like, you know, you got to kind of step out there, man, get from behind your bass. He would go, give me some bass. And then he'd come over to me and I'd be like, and then you just see a shoe and he'd be like, that was terrible. And it was like, but nonetheless, it's like those kind of experiences helped me with my comfortability, like being comfortable playing in the manner in which I do now, where it's like I don't mind people seeing me struggle through an idea or like going somewhere with something, trying to get to something. Yeah, like I always see the pictures, like there's always like baby pictures my mom has of me with a toy guitar of sorts, you know. Yeah, it's just as far as I can remember, it's always been the bass. I just try to make music that I enjoy, that hopefully people enjoy too. I try to have fun, you know? Like I'm singing songs about my cat. Like that's a real thing, you know? I mean, I really love my cat, you know? It's a privilege to be able to always be able to create, you know? And when I'm at home creating music, I usually wind up laughing. It's always like funny. It's like, what the hell did I just? Like, what? If anybody was here to see me record this, they would have walked out in the process like, this dude is terrible. Well, Stanley Clarke told me one time when we were conversating, he said that music is a service, so we're servants. Because, you know, you come to different points in the music where you feel like somebody may owe you something. You feel like, you know, oh man, I zigged where I should have zagged. And it's like, nah, man, if you're the right mind frame is that you're giving. You gotta keep giving. And that's all I could, you know, ever try to do. You want to be in the now, you know. And, I mean, I watch guys like Herbie Hancock and realizing that guy's been in the now for a long time. That's where I want to be, you know. And I think that's one of the joys I get from creating and collaborating with people. You know, like the whole process of To Pimp a Butterfly was like, it was one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced because of how amazing Kendrick is. Because it takes that kind of ability to give, because that's how he is. You know, he gives it 100%. You know, it would be moments where he'd walk by me in passing and, you know, he'd hear me humming something. He'd stand there for a second and be like, keep humming. And I'd be like, okay, go sing that. Or he'd walk up and like in passing, he'd stop and be like, he was thinking something, and he'd be like, he'd hum it in my ear. Like, and I'd be like, ah, okay. You know, there's those moments, and just to be able to do that, it's a different place for a person, I think. And I got a chance to see that. I'm happy I got a chance to be around that and see that, you know. It's my new bass. It sounds different when I play it by myself, but it's actually a piece Ryuichi Sakamoto wrote. It was a sample from a record that he created called El Mar Mediterranean. And it's the end of the Apocalypse album. It's a tribute to Austin. It's a big orchestral piece, and it's like every time I hear it, it just like, you know, besides the whole emotional ties it has, it's like one of those things where it's just one of the most beautiful pieces I've ever heard. I know I'll see you again in another life. Thank you for sharing your light with the world. Though we say goodbye, we will say hello again. You'll always live in my heart and my mind. It was one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm like trying to sing it, and I'm like trying to hold it together while I'm singing it. So Lotus would like stop the song, like, you need a minute, man. I'm like, yeah, man, we just go outside. And I come back all super ready to do it. And as soon as I start doing it real boldly, he just breaks down. You know, it takes him a second, and it's like, come on, man, you know, let's give it a minute. And we come back to it and finish it, and I remember sitting back and listening to the whole album and just not holding back. You know, I definitely cried listening to it. again, that's like, it just goes back to what we were talking about. At the point that it's out there, it's out there. I love this thing. I'm excited. I've always learned from experience. So everything from playing with like a Kamasi Washington was a growing experience for me, where I had to come up to the level to play, or else I couldn't. So it's like, sometimes it's good for you to throw yourself in the fire. I remember I was like, those moments when you're younger and you're like, am I gonna die playing bass? And like, you want to die on stage playing bass? It's like, yeah, that would be the best way to die, like taking a ripping bass solo. Yeah, like I'm going. I'm always wanting to get better. What else is gonna drive you? Money. If that drives you, you're really an idiot, because that shit comes and goes. But what really drives you is you have to want it. But for this, I've spent a lot of time on this. And I want to know what else I can do. That's the only way I grew into to writing, because the role that I've played as an instrumentalist has always been standing next to a person and always being told what to do and always being guided as to what's right and what's wrong and how to make this sound the way that somebody else wants it. But the thing is, this is an instrument of its own, and it has its own voice, and you can manipulate it, You can work and create other stuff with it. So why not? Nonetheless, I feel like I'm having a conversation with God.
Okay, we back, and we still black. Where we going to now,
Oh, we're going to a friend of mine. I talked to a young lady, /young woman, Department of Labor. We're discussing about employment rate, and she was telling me that how the unemployment rate dropped a little bit, but still people are still out there looking for jobs. And advice she gave me, she tell people, she was like, if they could, work for yourself. There's so many alternatives that now the people need to use it as an option. One of them guys is Uber and Lyft driving. If you got a car and you're looking for work and you're out of work, depending on, maybe some people are, overqualified, underqualified, and they're just not hiring. They were saying, she said, that's the best direction to go sometimes. Look into that. Driving for Lyft and Uber, and you can make a pretty decent, living. I'm not saying you're going to be the richest man in town, but you got to look into things like that, Zai. People got to go back to the fundamentals of sometimes using your skill, whatever your hands is. Uber, Lyft is one I'll deal about. Would you ever think about doing Uber or Lyft?
I thought about it. I talked to drivers. Because I used to drive for a living, but I never drove people. I always preferred to drive boxes or packages because they don't get on your nerves. But I've talked to the drivers. Some of them said they made a bunch of money, and some of them said they're not making enough money. So I guess come see, come saw.
Right. And also it's based on, I guess, how many hours you're out there. Life is a hustle if you want to make the money. Also, you speaking of vans, if you got a van, sometimes you even have to start a website. And that's the thing she said. A lot of people got to get with the time, she said. Everything is through the computers now. So now, sometimes you have to build you a website that says man or woman with a van. And you know how it is. You go out there and, maybe you move some packages or things like that, and your own little delivery service, things like that. So people got to get back to that. I always tell people, landscaping, you got a lawnmower, talk to some people in the community, and maybe you can mow their lawn.
Okay.
Winter time's coming. Winter's among us. Take that shovel. You'd be surprised how many people will pay you to shovel their cars out, especially some elderly people. And I'm not saying some elderly people can't do that, but it's best to be doing that. So I don't want to shovel no car out the snow, man.
Well, especially if you don't work out, and then you try to take on a half an hour workout lifting, 25-pound shovelfuls of snow for half an hour. It's, that's a workout. So I know old Zaiyahs getting up there in age. I went and bought a snowblower. All of that time I was out there shoveling that snow, but then after a while you think about it, depending on the type of snow, you get that wet snow, that's some heavy stuff. You can hurt yourself, so, went and got me a little snowblower, electric snowblower. Okay. And I'm good to go.
Exactly. And also what's interesting to me is that a lot of young males, he said, do not want to enter into the workforce. They don't want to get into the rat race. That's like a new thing, she's saying. A lot of these young, I'm kind of seeing that. A lot of our young guys, I mean, if anybody travels on the train in New York City or just walk around in the community, you see a lot of the young guys, they're selling candy, they're dancing for money, they're selling items on like different street corners, they're selling like these, they want to work. The youngsters want to work, but they want to do it their way.
Entrepreneur.
Right, they want to be entrepreneurs. So people got to, maybe we got to more instill that. We need more programs out there for kids to learn how to be their own business. Because a lot of youngsters doing that. No matter what you may say about them, or oh, they're selling candy, they're selling jewelry, or whatever in the street, that means there's just young men that don't want to get into work for. How you feel about that? Taking a chance on themselves, betting on themselves.
No doubt. I mean, as long as they can, they handle themselves in a professional way. And
what do you mean by we may handle something?
you know, I remember one time a guy was selling some stuff on the train, and he offered me, yeah, I'm selling such. I said, no, thank you. I didn't hear him, but as he left, you know, he said something smart, like, you know, sucker, you know, whatever, because I don't want to buy anything. It's just like, well, what kind of businessman are you? You know, it's just stupid. You know, sell your stuff and keep it moving. Don't, you know. But when we were just talking about that Uber Lyft thing, one thing when I was talking to one of the drivers was about Saturdays, Fridays and Saturday nights.
Is it a peak hours? They call them
No,
like that, right?
people coming out of the clubs drunk. It's like people throwing up in your car, people being belligerent and disrespectful, you know.
Well, I think that's everywhere when you're working
Keep a
with other
bag.
people.
I would say keep a bag in your car, keep some water in your car. Of course, they ain't gonna get in there with the, you know, you gotta be ready for that, you know. Which is scary because, you know, you can pick up a drunk female, you know, which I probably wouldn't want to do because I don't want to hear nothing later on, you know. Oh, he did this or he did that, you know, she passed out in the car. It's like, it could be a problem. You never know who you got in the back of your car.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely got to be a little mindful of that. But still, take the chance, people. Take the chance. Bet on yourself. You know, youngsters, you don't want to work for nobody. I respect that 100%. You know, whatever. Find what you like to do and do it.
You know, before they had yellow cabs, which black people had a problem catching.
Right.
So now you got Uber, yellow cabs are complaining. You know, just so many things are changing nowadays that you, like you said, you know, you have to adjust.
Yes, give it up at the times. Technology is big.
Yeah.
As you were saying, Department of Labor. A lot of people come there, but they not. You know, they don't have that LinkedIn account. You know, you upload your resume. You got everything is there now. Like you're gonna have to get savvy with the computer.
Yes, indeed.
Everything is about that.
But keep some of your sanity, because if this stuff ever goes down, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, problem for everybody. I mean, I don't know how people get educated because everything is through the computer. It's almost it's like any books that we made anymore. See, like.
And that's the warfare they're talking about. You don't have to knock the buildings down like back in the day in World War I and World War II, where they came and bombed whole cities and knocked all the buildings down. All you have to do is tear down the infrastructure, get rid of the water, poison the water, and knock out the electricity, and watch how quickly people become savages.
Oh yes, people will break
How you say that? Eat each other.
They eat each other. People will literally eat each other.
Yeah, I was just
Trust
telling
me.
my wife, you know, they sell these packages online, and I'm gonna look it up later, and I might purchase this today. Those survival kits, they sell you like a case of what they call potable water.
Okay.
It comes in the green cans like the Army uses. You could keep it up to years and years, because bottled water, you can't keep it but so long.
No, man.
Yeah, the plastic and stuff, it affects the water, which is crazy. But you get the potable water, and then they have those, what do they call it, the K rations.
The plastic
That's in a
food package.
Yeah, food package, or even the service, the one they had in the Army that's in a can. I could personally tell you that, I mean, things taste pretty damn good.
Okay.
But the thing about it is you can store them for years.
Okay.
And you never know when things are going to go down. And the other thing I'm going to get is, most people have those generators, gas generators. But you notice most of the time, if electricity is down, they can't pump gas. Right. One or two gas stations that might be working, but the rest of them, they can't pump gas. Solar. They have the solar panels. You can get like 2 panels that's about the size of a, 35-inch TV. You tune the panels, and it hooks up to a battery, and you can run into your house and have the panels outside in your yard or on your roof or outside your window on the fire escape. Who knows? But that power will be enough to keep the refrigerator on and, a couple of other things in the house. Keep a little lights on. So it's things to look into. Like the light that I have in front of my house, it's a bright light, but it works by solar. So there's a panel out there, and the light is bright enough that, and there's a long enough cord that I could actually bring the light in the house and leave the panels outside. So let's say there's a blackout, I still have light because I have those small solar panels. So I'm like, why doesn't anybody come out with more of those panels that you can just put the panel outside your window? The panel's about so big. Put the light inside your house, and if there's ever an emergency, you know, just click that on and you have light.
Well, because we have companies though. We have companies like Con Edison and stuff like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and they're trying to.
No, but you have to understand that things happen. Since I've been here, we had like 3 or 4 blackouts.
Okay.
And I remember the first one, we didn't have any charcoal. We keep charcoal now. Because you got a little backyard grill. Lights went out. We couldn't cook anything. My neighbors like, hey, you want a hot dog? They was in the back grilling. I'm like, wow, we got to keep charcoal. So I'm just saying that a lot of times, like now in the Carolinas, they're getting ready to have this hurricane or whatever is going down there. They're going to have a lot of flooding. And if you live in a place that's prone to that type of stuff, then a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to ride it out. But are you prepared to ride it out? Or are you going to just get stuck on the roof of your house and beg for help? You like this, a helicopter. If you're going to ride it out, be prepared to ride it out.
Right.
Don't be prepared, and then when your plan A doesn't work, you don't have a plan B. Your plan A is, okay, hopefully the water doesn't come up this high. Suppose the water comes up this high. What's your plan B? To just climb on the roof and beg for help?
So you had a little boat you could put.
Yeah, you don't have an inflatable raft. You don't have nothing. No food, no nothing. You just stuck. That's not a... Especially if you're a grown person and you have a family.
That's not a good plan.
It's not a good plan.
That's not a good plan. You're right about that.
Yeah, so, and then the other thing is it's selfish in a way because you put my life in danger coming to rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, you have some people that certain states and cities, they be like, we're not coming to get you till after this time. Like, you got to ride it out.
Yeah.
You know, they like, we're not coming to rescue you. Nobody will be out until this, you know.
Yeah, but then there's always somebody passing by and they look, wait, that's somebody in the tree holding on for dear life. We can't just leave them.
Right.
Well, you can. But,
Right. So yes, people, it's okay to branch out, try entrepreneurship, do your own business, start your own thing, and support. Parents, support them young kids, man. Saying they want to be their own business owners, support them.
And you can also go into the first responder business, but you can do it on your own. Let's say you have a boat and you go out there and help save me. Do you have any money?
Okay.
What do you have of value?
You have the card. Can you swipe? Swipe right.
That's right. Before you get on the bus,
Swipe.
Before you get on the boat, can you swipe that, please?
Debit and credit.
There you
Debit and
go.
credit.
That's right. Shoot. Hey, that would be, you got to go out there and get yourself a boat, or you can get you some of them rations I'm talking about and just go around the house and say, got those rations?
2 for $5.
Would you like a can of water? Do you have any money?
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a second.
Do you have any money?
That old bush just keeps on burning. Old bush just keeps on burning. Shares the hope for future learning. Nobody seems to show that learning. That old bush just keeps on burning. I wonder, will we ever feel the flame? Yeah. This way of life on total exhibition shows the way in which we live of an impatient nation. This tree of love so far from perfection. Share a little love to improve our situation. Yeah. Gonna shout it from the mountaintop this evening. There's gonna come a time, things that's on your mind, just when you were flat, and it right in your mind. You got here to find, simple as another night. Everybody you were fine, peace and love all the time, peace and love all the time. Peace and love all the time. Peace and love all the time.
I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
You have prayed to let thy kingdom come. Yes, thy will be done. Yes, 5 million that are willing to stand with me for this truth.
No one knows for sure, but the consensus among historians and biographers is Father Divine was born as George Baker, the son of former slaves. He is one of the most important religious leaders of the 20th century.
A champion for interracial harmony. He was a hero in our community.
His movement reaches unprecedented heights of popularity and influence.
They challenge segregation at a time when that was rarely done.
The argument was race doesn't exist. You are human children of God.
He stressed gender equality.
Pushed his followers to register to vote.
Drafted a petition to pass an anti-lynching bill.
Father Divine was the most important figure addressing civil rights between Marcus Garvey and Martin Luther King.
Father Divine has what you might call a public relations issue. He proclaimed that he was God.
It is our conviction that Father, God Almighty, has appeared again.
Father Divine promised his followers eternal life, and so there's no need to create more people.
The people here are 80 and 90 years old.
All of those followers are not here today. The thought comes to my mind, what is the future of the peace mission?
When a movement begins to falter, you're thinking about a legacy.
Father has blessed us because of the life that we have lived, dedicated to God and man.
I love him with all my heart, soul, and mind. I mean, my darling, sweet Father Divine.
Talking about expectations. Watch.
Ba, ba.
Okay. What's interesting to me about that is, regardless of where I am, anywhere, every audience gets that. But it doesn't matter, you know, it's just, you know, the pentatonic scale for some reason.
If you're looking for a job in neuroscience, I think... just to phrase the question scientifically, Larry, what the hell just happened here?
You know, for thousands of years, African women have devoted much time and attention to styling their own hair, kind of like today. What up, African world? It's your boy Home Team here. I'm back at it with another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And today I'm going to be talking about African women and their hair. African women have worn a vast array of many different hairstyles throughout many different regions on the entire continent. When travelers began to visit Africa, they began to notice the many different hairstyles on these African women. One Dutch traveler in particular named Peter de Maris was so impressed by the vast array of African women's hairstyles that he actually documented it in a book. Now, Peter made a very detailed description of about 16 different hairstyles in the region of Guinea alone. So apparently I'm not the only one in my observations. When it comes to texture, styling, and overall creativity, the hair of African women is by far the most diverse I've ever seen. Even the females in my own family unit have gone through many different hair textures and styles. So upon request of many of you guys, I thought it would be interesting to discuss the many different African hairstyles seen throughout the continent. Let's begin with the Soninka people of West Africa. This hairstyle of the Soninka would have probably been popular during the Wagadu Empire, which lasted from about the 3rd century to the 11th century. It seems to be characterized by a 4B hair type according to the natural hair scale. It seems pretty long, puffy, and woolly at the same time. Hair in many West African cultures was regarded as not only a sense of power and personification, but as a means of communication. The type of hairstyle worn usually described the status of the individual wearing it. These Soninka women seem to have a trend of big, spaced out Bantu knots. It seems clear that this style was reserved for older women or married women. Hair also had very strong social and sexual connotation. Most West African societies regarded long, thick, neatly styled hair on a young woman as a sign of health, respectability, and fertility. This style amongst the Mende would have been seen throughout the Mali Empire, as it was founded and dominated by Mandinka people. The hair type of the Mandinka seems to vary and consists of a 4C and 4B hair type, as they're related to the Soninka people. Another group that was incorporated into the Mali Empire was the Fulani people. Fulani women have very diverse and intricate hair types and hairstyles. Their hair can range from a 3A all the way to a 4C on the natural hair type scale. In all honesty, they were probably one of the first ethnic groups in West Africa to do the frohawk style, in which a large piece of hair stands up in the middle region of the head. The Fulani are the largest ethnic group in West Africa and were a part of virtually every West African empire, especially the Mali Empire. Testament to the diversity of Fulani hairstyling and texture, the Wudabu, a subgroup of the Fulani, have popularized the middle afro puff. The Wudabu are a little more nomadic than the typical Fulani ethnic group, and their unique hairstyle makes them stand out amongst other African ethnic groups. Fulani people and Fulani hair is probably the most diverse in West Africa. Another nomadic people in Western Africa are the Tuareg. The Tuareg, along with the Fulani, seem to have the longest hair in the region. The Tuareg were some of the main groups of people that traded with West African empires such as Wagadu, Mali, and Songhai. They mostly dwell in the Sahel region along with the Soninka. Their hair type can range from about a 2B all the way to a 4A according to the natural hair scale. As we can see here, the hair of these northwestern Tuareg girls are characterized by long braided locks and designs across the entire head. Southwestern Tuareg of the Niger region have very similar hairstyle that follows the rules of the Tuareg standard. Their hair is more woolly and kinky along the lines of a 4A type. Another hairstyle from West Africa comes from the Songhai. This hairstyle probably represents the elite status of women in the Songhai Empire. Songhai hair is largely characterized by its 4C hair type. This Songhai's woman's hair is seen with adornments and a long curled afro-textured extension in the back of the head. Big and neat hair was cherished among the Yoruba people and many other ethnic groups in West Africa. Similar to the Fulani style, they also maintained a frohawk. Yoruba hair is characterized by its 4C hair type and is seen to have a very simple yet complex hairstyle. In this culture, like many others, if a woman left her hair undone, it was a sign that something was wrong. Either she was depressed, mourning, or just an immoral woman. Now, Southern African women tend to have a completely different hairstyle that seems to be greatly influenced by the region itself. These Africans in the South seem to be a little more concerned with protective styling. Extensions and/or protective styling have always been a part of African women's hair culture. Long braided or matted hair seems to be a common theme in the southern regions. In Central and Southern Africa, women use a mixture of okra and animal fat to hold their hair in long, cylindrical shapes. However, braiding remains one of the most common styling techniques in all of Africa. Many scientists believe that the dense, woolly curls present on most African hair helps to shield the head from strong sunlight. However, hair color and hair texture vary throughout the entire continent. Hair varies from long to short, to woolly, kinky, straight, and curly. Now let's talk about the styles and textures of East African women. About 75% of the entire continent have hair that's consistent with a kinky hair type, and about 15% of Africans have a curly hair type. Straight or wavy hair amongst Africans is usually present in very humid regions or forested areas of the Sahara. Let's take Ethiopia for example. Ethiopian women have a diverse array of hair textures, but it's usually characterized by a 3A to about a 3C hair type. This hairstyle worn by some Ethiopian women probably can date back all the way back to the Aksumite Empire. In this picture, we see two Eritrean girls with a very intricate braided hairstyle that was probably seen throughout the Aksumite Empire as well. The hair type and hairstyle of Ethiopian people is very diverse, as we can see, perhaps the most diverse in the whole region. The hairstyle and hair types is also diverse amongst Somali women who are in a similar natural hair range of Ethiopians. From this photo, we can see a half braided hairstyle with loose ends on the bottom. Somali hair tends to be long, straight, or curly, often with a woolly type hint to it. Hair has always been very important to African women throughout the continent. Today we have a tendency to see many Afro-descendant women do many similar techniques to their hair as early Africans. Many Afro-descendant women today use protective styling, weaves, extensions, and other adornments. Seldom do we see that today as an African tradition, but the truth seems to be quite different from our 21st century ideas on African hair history. If we really look at the history of women's hair in Africa, we will see that they too did similar things, especially in ancient times. Let's look at the ancient Nubian and Egyptian cultures. The styling aids from animal fats, plants, and minerals date back to ancient times. Palm oil was a favorite aid for conditioning and styling for African women. Now, the ancient Nubians developed a type of ironing comb that was used to make rows of tight coils around the head. Queen Kawat of Egypt was likely of Nubian extraction, and she's seen exhibiting this short, tightly coiled style. Apparently, this style became so popular that Egyptians began to adopt this Nubian style in their later dynasties. The Nubian wig was especially popular during the 18th dynasty around the time of King Tut. Nubian wigs were the hottest thing on the market for the Egyptian elite, and it was most popularized by Queen Kia. Queen Kia's Nubian wig is typically Nubian, characterized by the tight coils hanging down. She was probably like the Beyonce of the ancient world, setting pop cultural trends. From her depiction, the wig looks very organized and neat, signifying her elite status. In fact, the Nubian wig was so popular that Queen Nefertiti wore it frequently, perhaps making it even more popular. So it's confirmed that African women like Queen Kia, Queen Nefertiti, and of course the Nubians themselves wore wigs and probably other hair adornments or additions. However, one of the differences between today and ancient times seems to be that these African women usually wore wigs or extensions that already mimicked their own hair type. Anyway guys, the hair of African women has a very long and diverse history. In fact, this history is continuing to evolve and grow as Afro-descended women embrace their own natural hair. Let me know which style you guys enjoyed the most. And if you guys want to learn more about African history, you can show your support on patreon.com, where I teach full-blown African history courses. The link is in the description box below. It's your boy, Home Team. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, once and again.
Hello.
So once again, when you started to write poetry?
It started when I was around 12 years old. I started writing in class, and I wanted to get out of doing some work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to do a piece for us tonight. What is the piece called?
We're going to ride together.
Okay, so what inspired you to write that piece?
Well, basically just, going through the ins and outs of relationships like most people.
Right.
So I wanted to vent and get some feelings out there, and that's how the piece was birthed.
Okay, good. So what's the future hold for you?
Just doing venues and just getting my name out there.
Okay, so the piece that you're going to perform later tonight, if somebody wanted to get that piece, where would they contact you?
They can contact me at onceandagain@aol.com, and I check my email constantly, so I'll get back in touch, I'm sure, right away.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Live from the Spit Factory recording studio, I bring to you Once and Again.
We're gonna ride together. I'ma ride for you. I would lie for you. Go out smoking, gun blazing, I would die for you. Cause we've been doing this for years through the pain and tears. I'ma cry for you. Do anything for you. Throw caution to the wind just to be with you. Slit throats, murder souls, damn love I killed for you. Lost friends, lost myself dead but resurrected for you. Watch people playing games, calling your name. Perpetrators, contradictors, about to never do the same. But when they left you, I was there for you. Never gave up, I still wanted you. Nursed you back to health, I was a doctor for you. Revenge seeking vendettas, I was noble for you. I was so into you, I fucked myself for you. Orgasm through pain, birth little versions of you. They running around wild wanting to be like you. I was your mother, father, sister, and brother. you. We're related through blood, now it flows for you. You saw me in the street pulling my hair out for you. Crawling on my knees, begging to be seen by you. What am I supposed to do without you? I was trained, went to school to be employed by you. This ain't a game to me. I'm here to the end. Fuck all the others, you're my new best friend. Been through the battles I've warred for you. Bloody, broken bones, I've shed pounds for you. Opening allowed doors to close for you. What more can I do such a shady bitch in you? But you don't want me. So you laugh in my face. I've lost my soul, my family I've disgraced. And if you think I ain't your rider, I'ma bow down gracefully to you. I've tried and I've tried to prove myself to you. Running away? But damn, I wanna run to you. Until I'm appreciated, I'ma pray for you. We're gonna ride together. We're gonna ride together. Damn, love, I thought we was gonna ride together.
Do you like it?